Is your home making you sick? This is Dr. Maria Azizian, and today we will be discussing indoor allergens, or allergens that you find at your own home, be it an apartment or a house. After COVID, more and more people spend time at home, and the time that you spend at home could vary somewhere between 60 to 90% for most people. And of course, it's very important to have a clean and pure environment at your home. And it starts, of course, with basic things such as dust mites. Dust mites love linen, they love beddings, they love stuffed animals, so that's where you will find them. And there are many people who have allergy to dust mites, and sometimes it is diagnosed and sometimes it's not. So how do you prevent that? First thing would be to, of course, wash your linens with very hot water, and that should help a lot to kill them, and also to avoid having lots of stuff on your beds. And I know sometimes we look at catalogs and it looks very cute because you have stuffed animals, especially if it's a child's bedroom, and it makes it very homey and nice. However, if you decide to have stuffed animals, make sure these are toys that you can actually periodically wash. And of course, anything that you have on the bed, don't be like some, I don't know, dirty hotel where they don't wash these outer linens. Please wash them frequently, because dust mites do love unwashed and old linens, bed coverings, duvets, and etc. So don't forget about pillowcases, because those are known for accumulation of dust mite. And if you think about it, it actually makes one feel good to sleep on a nice, as I call it, crispy sheets and crispy bed linens where they're nice and clean. It's very nice psychologically as well. So the second thing is our pets. And I love pets, and we have lots of pets in our house, including 2 dogs. So I get it. I understand. And having pets, however, doesn't mean that I agree with pets sleeping with people. I do think that that's taking it a little too far, because it makes you more exposed to pet hair and other excrements associated with pets, and I think that it is better for the pets to have their own place to sleep and not sleep with people in their bed. I think that's pretty basic, but of course I know today, in this day and age when there are lots of people are lonely, having pets, cats or dogs, sleep with them actually can help their loneliness. So it's a little bit of a difficult advice to give, to tell people don't bring pets in your bed. But it's good for your health in terms of allergies. So for whatever it's worth, good for your health, but may make you miss your pet. So how do you get allergy from that? It's basically mostly with cats and dogs, and talking mostly about cats and dogs, is a shedding of the hair and developing allergies to that. So the key is to vacuum common areas where the pets are very frequently, and also make sure that your pets are clean. Don't forget to wash them, and keep your pets clean. And that's good for you as a pet owner, to know that your pets are also in a good health, because their hygiene is great too. So it's not only about yourself, it's about your pet as well. Next, we have pests such as rodents and other little animals that you find, especially in farmhouses. And of course, a lot of people have an image of a rat, and of course I do too. And now it's really feces and urine and all kind of little in hair and particles, dander, that is quite disgusting. And as you could see, you can call me not a rat lover, and I am not. So, and those types of things also can create an allergy, in addition to be a vector for diseases, and just for having a creating a dirty environment at your home. So this is where you need more professional help. You need to have exterminator to come in. You need professional services for things like that. But from your standpoint, the key is not to have any food lying around open. Make sure that you put food in the refrigerator, or wrap the food in a way that that it's safe and not have it exposed. And also you'd have to investigate if there are any openings that on the floor that in the between the creaky cardboard areas that could actually have a containers that become containers of food crumbs, and that's what rodents love. So of course that also is a something that people have allergies to. Next is cockroaches. Cockroaches actually can live in bedroom as well, because a lot of people think that they only live in the bedroom, but that's not true. And for cockroaches, yes, it's the same thing. You want to keep the area clean. You don't want to have, for example, sitting on a sofa eating food and then all the crumbs go to the floor, and that basically you're just inviting all of these critters and creatures to come into your living space and basically start renting space from you for free. So that's why you still, with cockroaches, you would still need professional services, but yet from your standpoint, you do need to make sure that you keep everything clean. Next one is a big one. It's really mold. So what happens is that mold is more common in older houses, because older houses often have poor ventilation, and mold likes humidity and mold likes high moisture. Mold, fungus, and as you probably have heard stories about some homes that were for sale and nobody would buy them because of the mold. And it is true. It's actually a valid reason, I think, not to buy a house, because eradicating mold is not easy. Not only you need professional services, professional crew to come in and to look into HVAC and, so heating, ventilation, air conditioning. You also would need to place some filtration. There are special filters that can actually purify air, and so that's another thing that you can do, but it could be expensive. And a lot of times people are allergic to mold without knowing that. And it takes a lot of investigative work to actually find out that the reason that somebody is coughing all day long, or they're having postnasal drip, or they're having some kind of persistent issues, it's due to mold. And in addition to that, you can have skin allergies to mold and other symptoms that are not respiratory. So that's why living in a moldy apartment, usually it's a moldy house actually, is not the best thing. One of the important factors is for somebody in a moldy houses, moldy apartment, is also to avoid rugs and carpets, because that's also a place where mold will propagate, and you really don't want that. So yes, so dealing with mold is not easy. Purification, filtration systems, and they are on the market. They cost, I think, somewhere around $200-300. Probably that's something that needs to be done just to improve the level of humidity and to be able to filtrate all that bad moldy air that essentially you and your family are breathing. So next on my list is actually wood stove and wood heaters. So those are still actually, they're not obsolete, so they still exist, and they are very dangerous because they emit lots of toxic substances such as carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, and those are carcinogenic substances. It is the best just to get rid of them, and that may not be that easy for many people, especially in rural homes where you have this old-fashioned wood heater that really is the heater for the whole home. So it's easier said than done or get rid of it, but sometimes it's very hard to get rid of it. So they are, unfortunately, carcinogenic. And what happens with any toxin, is that the toxin can affect two people differently. So, for example, two members of the family, in one person who has these special carcinogenic genes, they could be turned on by this toxin, and in the other person who lacks that gene mutation, nothing will happen specifically. So that's why it's sometimes very hard to understand as to what is the end result of all of that. But of course, now with the so much research going on about environmental toxin, it's becoming easier to pinpoint the reason for lung cancers, for leukemias, for lymphomas, and very often they are the environmental toxins that have been the cause of that. So definitely getting rid of this wood stoves and wood heaters, it would be a very good idea. Or if you're renting a place like that, moving out of there would be the way to go. Might be expensive, of course. Next is just regular gas stoves. Actually, gas stoves, a lot of people don't know that about the gas stoves, but they also emit toxins such as nitric dioxide, which is a carcinogen also. And one of the studies have shown that there was a children with asthma, and 12% of those asthmatic children had their asthma linked to exposure from those gas stoves. So the best way to go about it is, again, not cheap, but it is to replace the gas stove with an electric stove. Those are very big things because we use these appliances constantly. Or in the winter, for example, if you have a wood stove, you turn it on all the time. So making these changes can actually impact the duration, longevity of your life, can impact your health, and it's extremely important. Unfortunately, it's not talked about a lot, but that's why I thought that it would be a good idea to discuss that. Thank you very much. Until next time.